Hi, I'm Grant Boone for the Lone Star Conference. It's Wildcat Week, and we're talking with ACU's first-year women's basketball coach, Julie Goodenough. Coach, let's talk a little bit about this team you have, because you do bring back some names and some faces that are familiar to Lone Star Conference fans, but you've also brought in some new players as well. Tell me how the team has come together through your first few games of the season.
Well, I will tell you, as a head coach, it has been an awesome transition for me to inherit this program and to inherit the players that were already here, and they've been a real blessing to coach and have been very responsive to my philosophy and my way of doing things, and I really appreciate that, because I have been in situations where it was not a very smooth transition taking over a program. So I really credit our players for just being willing to try some new things and really kind of change maybe what they were used to. So I appreciate our players for that. And then we were able to bring in a couple of new players, and I think they are a good complement to the ones that we inherited. So we're still really working to bring this team all together to be on the same page. But I think that with every practice and every game that we see them moving in the right direction as a team.
Let's talk about a couple of those players who are back this year, most notably the preseason player of the year, McKenzie Langford. Didn't play a lot in the first couple of games for you as she was trying to get over a nagging injury. But let's talk about how she's played the first few games, what you expect from her, and then also a player who's back this year but didn't play a lot, who's come on strong as a sophomore, and that's Sadie Dickinson. Start with McKenzie.
Well, I think for McKenzie, she's a very talented basketball player, a great athlete. She has had a little bit of a slow start. I think she's been bummed up a little bit and trying to get healthy, but I think the thing that she is still trying to embrace is the fact that she doesn't have to do everything for us. And we've seen already in the conference teams that games that we've played in that teams really key in on her, and maybe it's a little more difficult for her to get open than other people on the team, which is great because we've had other people step up and they're ready, shot ready on the perimeter, ready to score. But McKenzie's a very talented player. She can, beat you on the dribble drive. She definitely is a good three-point shooter. She's picked up some really key rebounds for us in conference games, and so a player that definitely you have to pay attention to, I think, when you're scouting our team. But I don't think if we're in a situation where she has to do everything for us, and that is a little bit different for her, I think, where maybe in the past she's felt like she's had to carry this huge offensive burden, and we've got some complementary players around her, so she's still trying to figure that out a little bit, I think.
Top 5 in assists, in fact, McKenzie in the Lone Star Conference, and one of the players she's dished out to a lot has been Sadie Dickinson, and I think Sadie maybe has taken advantage, not only from a couple of injuries to some of her teammates that have given her some playing time, but also some of that focus on McKenzie.
Well, Sadie started every game for us, but in multiple positions because of injuries, and she's responded really well. In fact, the positions that we've asked her to play are very contrasting, and so she's had to learn a lot of different responsibilities as far as set plays and out of bounds plays and things like that, but she's responded really well. Sadie has what I would call just a textbook shot. I mean, her shot is just awesome, and she works at it. She works in the gym on her own and trying to be the best shooter she can possibly be. But she's another player that we have that can score and beat you in several different ways. I mean, we post her up back to the basket. We give her free reign to shoot from the three-point line. She can score off dribble drives, score off offensive rebounds. She, too, has done a good job of picking up some key rebounds when we need that. So, she's just playing really well on both ends of the floor for us right now.
You had a player at Charleston Southern, Katie Tull, who led Division I basketball in three-pointers made per game. And so far your approach has been very similar here at ACU through the first several games of your season, averaging 25-plus three-point attempts per game. That's obviously intentional. Why is that a foundational piece of your offensive approach?
Well, I think when you take over a program, you have to really evaluate what the strengths of the players are, the ones that you inherit. And we've got some good three-point shooters, so we're going to try to run some things to help really accentuate the positives, and we have good shooters. And from our point guards all the way through our 5 players, we have 11 players on the team. They all work on three-point shooting on a daily basis, and so they all have the green light to shoot. I think if I'm in a situation where I don't feel like we have that many three-point shooters, we would change our philosophy a little bit, but we can really shoot the ball. And I'm not the greatest coach, definitely, but I'm smart enough to know that if we can shoot the three, we need to get a lot of those off. So.
Finally, you come from a Division I background. You coached at Oklahoma State for 3 years as the head coach and then 6 seasons coaching at Charleston Southern. Maybe just a thought about your early impressions in the Lone Star Conference.
I think the Lone Stars are a really tough league. I know most of the coaches personally. I've known them for years, and really, really good coaches in the conference. And you and your staff have got to really prepare your team night after night to be ready to go into battle against your Lone Star Conference opponents. And I've not coached at the Division II level before, and I feel like I'm in one of the very best conferences in the country. So it's a blessing to get my 1 year of experience at the D2 level in the Lone Star Conference. And I feel like there are probably programs in the Lone Star that would be very comparable to some of the teams that we're going to play in the Southland Conference.
All right. That's ACU women's basketball coach Julie Goodenough. Stay with us for Wildcat Week tomorrow as we speak with men's basketball coach Joe Golding. For the Lone Star Conference, I'm Grant Boone.